It was one of those things. Like I said, we'd been trying to nail this down for like a while now,
Yeah, yeah.
because the idea came up. I forget exactly when, but I was like, man, like maybe because I always try to like bring people in for lives or whatever, kind of put them in front of somebody else, and it's like the way I feel is like whenever I'm making videos or something, like people see me as far as who I am, that's sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I buy into. So it's like
All right.
sometimes like it might be good to just get out there and just let people see who somebody is. You know what I mean? Rather than just you being like the guy that's judging a sneaker battle or whatever. Then they're just like why should I subscribe to him? Like I don't even know him. You
Right.
know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Some people might be like that.
Like, let's see who he really is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Kicks for Fresh, what's going on? What's going on?
Kicks for
So
fresh going on. We got homegrown kicks also.
yeah, I think he was in here and he might have jumped out. He'll probably be back around. But appreciate you stopping through. I'll have
And
to,
she got them OG 95 Air Max.
yeah, I saw that. I've seen the videos popping up by different people. I haven't watched any yet because I have my mom's pair coming in tomorrow or tomorrow. It's got to be tomorrow. So once I see those, then I'll watch other videos. You know what I'm saying? I like to see
Right.
stuff for myself first so I don't spoil it, which is difficult being out here in the YouTube streets.
It's tough. It's hard to avoid it, man. It's tough.
Oh, it definitely is. But I mean, I do see we got a few people on here right now, so we'll go ahead and start talking about what we're going to talk about. So, many moons ago, when I started doing the YouTube thing, started meeting people and all that, I didn't have a lot of people on my side. But one of the first people that I did meet was JJ Allday. I don't remember exactly how it came to be, so I'm not going to like make up some story. But I can just tell you that we've been in each other's corners for a long while now.
Long time, long time.
And
Yeah.
so that's why, like, if you remember seeing my first recap video, I was like, let me call on somebody that I know who's gonna want to jump in here, someone I know I can work with. And that's why I had JJ jump in. And then again, doing this, I was like, okay, this is gonna be the first time I'm doing something again. Let's go back to JJ because he's the guy, right?
Yeah, I try to be. I try to be. Yeah, I do the best I can.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
basically, what it comes down to is, and like I was telling him before, I like to bring people in on like various lives and stuff so that they can get in front of different people, and that's a good thing. But sometimes when you do certain lives, whatever, people don't really see who you're bringing in. So if we do a sneaker battle and he's just there like asking questions every 6 minutes and like judging shoes or whatever, it's like you have no idea who the dude is. And depending on who you are, when I say, oh, go check him out, you might think, why? Right? Like I don't even
Yeah.
know the guy. So the purpose of doing this is kind of just to sit back, talk a little bit, let you guys that maybe don't know him or whatever, you can check out him as a person, right? Go check out his channel because the links are in the description and all that stuff. And then, hopefully you'll catch on to what he's doing because there's more to everybody out here than just what you see. So I do
Oh,
like the shoe
oh,
reviews, whatever, but I'm not just a guy with a bunch of shoes. I think we all have figured that out by now.
yeah. It's levels to what we do. I think we all just have the same hobby when it comes to sneakers, but
But
I don't.
then
I don't
you
think nobody is just sneakers 100% though. I don't know.
exactly. But then you talk to people, and that's
Yeah.
when you start to see like, oh, okay, like I see we both like this, we both like that. But real quick though, go ahead and I'll pass it over to you so you can at least tell people, who you are and all that stuff. And
Uh,
then get into it.
I'm new. I'm new to this. I'm JJ All Day. I just started my channel just last week. Now I'm just playing now, but yeah, you can follow me on YouTube at JJ AllDay84. Also on Instagram at JJ underscore AllDay84 as well. I do sneaker reviews, music reviews here and there, and, other things as well. So hey, feel free to check me out, man. Good content. Hey, and it's my guy, shoes up, sleeves down, right here. Like I said, I've been messing with this guy for a while, right here, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We got
And
hit. Pause. Yeah.
and one of the things, so when we did the first recap show, I kind of wish we had kept the cameras rolling, so to speak, because
Oh my God.
after that live ended, we were backstage talking for like another like hour or two or something. Just it was like talking to somebody that you grew up with, you know, like a brother, a close cousin, like a friend that lived right across from you, something like that. And I was like, man, this was just as good as the live, you know?
It was refreshing, man.
Yeah,
Like you said, I got people I've known all my life. I don't click with like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's crazy because when people ask what I do, it's still like a foreign language to them. Like, you do YouTube? What you mean? Like, yeah, like I like to spend my time. I like to edit videos and record videos. I do YouTube. So people be like, oh, I guess, you know, like it's crazy.
yeah, I don't even really talk about it. It's just it comes up from sometimes, like even with my parents or whatever. Like when I did the review with my dad when I bought him some Ultra Boosts, like I was like, hey, sometimes I make videos and put them on the internet. You want to jump in with me for this one because I bought you a pair of shoes? He's like, all right. And like 2 minutes later, we're sitting in front of a camera. He didn't once ask what any questions. He's just like, man, these are cool, blah blah blah. So when you see that video, if you've seen it,
yeah, I seen that. Yeah,
2 minutes before that, he was just probably watching a Cowboys game, and I called him during a commercial, and we just knocked it out.
Knocked it out. No script, no nothing. It just went smooth.
Exactly. But for you, going back to, you know, whenever you started with, what was kind of like your motivation to even start doing a channel, really?
My motivation, I gotta bring my lady. I gotta you know, give her the credit because, you know, she played a huge part in it, and she would be like, you just gonna sit around and watch YouTube videos all day? Like, you really gonna look at shoes? And at the time, well, still, I got 3 laptops. So, I mean, for what reason at the time, I have no idea. But just throughout the years, I would have a total of 3 laptops. So, I used to be in the studio a lot. So I used to mix down music and stuff like that. So she was just saying like, well, if you could do music, you could do this too. You got sneakers, you could do the same thing. So I was like, you know what? Like, you're right. So hey, I gave it a shot one day, and I just love the way I looked on camera. You know what I'm saying? Just the thrill of it, well, of course, I wasn't editing back then. It was just pretty much you record and then you just put the video up. You know, no edits, no nothing.
Yeah, but I think we all remember those days.
Yeah, no on foots or anything, just straight. I got this shoe. Look at it. I really like it a lot. Yeah, it's a nice shoe. And you have I might have had like 10 subscribers, you know what I'm saying? Well, watching that replay of that, I was like, yo, I gotta do another one. So it was just a beautiful thing, man. Just, you know, just doing something that we love to do. And it kept me in the house. I needed it. You know, I done got older. I don't be in the streets like I used to. So it definitely makes sense. So instead of me being in the club, I'd rather be in the house, especially now due to COVID and everything. I'd rather be in the house doing videos. So it's perfect for me.
I mean, it kind of works out too, especially with a lot of other people being at home. You know, you can kind of cash in on that captive audience situation.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah.
Right. Because I know it's the same thing. You know, I started however long ago, and it's just, you're making these videos and you don't know really what you're doing. You're recording it, you're talking about it, and you're just hoping for the best. But question though, like when you look like those older videos or whatever, do you ever go back and watch any of those?
My old videos?
Yeah.
I did that maybe 2 months ago. And I'm gonna say my first 10, right? My first 10 videos, I felt it was so trash. Trash. It was like I was holding back who I was. It was like I can't say I was trying to be nobody else, but it was like I just wanted to be too perfect. I didn't unwind, you know what I'm saying? So once I got the feel of it, I just took off from the free throw line every time. It was like I felt like Jordan every time I drop a video. Anyway, but back then I was coming off the bench. I wasn't doing that.
Yeah, looking back at mine, just I have an idea of how they went, and I will likely never watch one. So even when like people ask me about something, it's like I'll recommend videos after a certain point. You know, like if you want to watch the ones before, whenever, to see like where I came from as far as how I started, sure. But man, it's not really something I want to put out there.
And let me speak on why I looked at my older videos like that. I did it because I was about to just quit altogether. I was about to quit YouTube. I was about to be done. And the reason for that is that if anybody's been wondering why I don't have any ads on my videos anymore, like I still haven't received my pin. For those that's monetizing and know what's going on with that, they send you a pin in the mail. So I'm going through that process right now. So my videos was monetized for so long, they just eventually just took them off. So I'm in the process of having another pin sent to me. So I'm just working through all that. So when they took the ads off, it was kind of like I felt like I was going to work and not clocking in. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I was feeling. So I was like, yo, I'm done with this. They giving me the runaround. It's been 4 months. I still haven't got that first check yet. You know what I'm saying? So I still have it. I got money just piling up in my what's the name right now. They can't even give it to me because I need my pin. So I'm waiting for that right now. But at the same time, I thought to myself, well, I went into this not thinking about money, so why would I stop?
Yeah, and
I enjoy it. I know my payday is coming, but I mean, like, damn. I mean, give me my money, man. Stop playing with me. Give me my pin. That's how I feel.
Because like a lot of people, you probably just got in there wanting to, because you had a passion for something and you just wanted to talk about it, and so other people would see it, and then you just kind of networking or whatever, just talking to people with similar interests, right? That sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you branched out a little bit. So because I know you, outside of the shoes, you do the music stuff also, because
Mm-hmm.
you are a big music guy. So
that's my first love.
Right.
That's just something that just came along with it. I mean, yeah.
And that's honestly how I feel a lot of the time, because this is a thing that I like, but it's not. But for whatever reason, when I started doing the channel, I was like, yeah, shoes, that makes sense. People do that, right?
Yeah, right.
I'll somewhat blame Skip Goes Hard for that, but that's another story for another day.
Story.
But, so thinking back to like the music, since you say that was like one of the first things you really got into, right? Like
that was everything for me. Still everything.
So what really got you into it? Because I'll tell you, for me, also being a music guy, my mom, she was up here like for Thanksgiving, and we were talking about something. Because as a younger child, like I remember liking a lot of random songs coming on the radio. It's like, yeah, and this Cool Mo D guy, he's all right, things like that. And she was telling some story about how we were going somewhere, and she's like, yeah, like you were really into the Fat Boys. That's going through some phase about that. And she was telling me how we were driving down one of the streets in Iowa, and I was just like standing on the back seat, just kind of dancing and doing all this. I'm like, wait, I was just standing there on the back seat while you're driving. She's like, you didn't want to wear your seatbelt. I'm like, I got some things to say about that. Like, but so like when I look back, I have some fond memories. But what about you?
I think for me, it was the first time I heard my brother playing Grandmaster Flash, The Message. When I heard that song, it was just like, yo, that's it. Like at that time, I felt like that was just the best song ever. You couldn't tell me no wrong. Anything that came out before that, after that, I felt like it was just too crazy. Like, I mean, yeah, that song, The Message. And I remember my parents, they bought me a cassette tape. If y'all watch, I'm sure y'all have seen the movie House Party. Yeah. When kid was in the shower, it's a little red, blue, and yellow tape recorder. I still had that at my folks' house though, but they got me one of them. I found the Rod Stewart tape, Forever Young, right? That was like the first tape I found. I don't even know whose tape that was, but I played that song like till it couldn't play anymore, like to the point where now I will never listen to that song ever again. I think I might have been like 3 years old or whatever. It was something way back. I found that tape. And I was just going crazy with Rod Stewart, which sounds unbelievable right now, but that's it. Like my parents would tell you that same story with crazy.
But that's the thing, because like again, you have whatever you have access to, and that's kind of what grabs your interest, right?
Yeah.
I had same thing. I had a Walkman, and I mean, I didn't get one until I was probably in like 7th grade or something like that, maybe 6th. And I had a couple tapes, I had like Doggy Style and like Enter the 36 Chamber, stuff like that, you know what I mean? And I remember listening to those things, and that's like, because I already liked music, but now being able to like actually have something and listen to it, other than when I was super young, and my mom had got me like a Hammer tape because
Everybody had hammer tape. Yeah.
yeah. So now I'm getting older and like finding things, listening to them, and all that stuff. And a lot of that stuff I still go back to, have some good memories of it, because I'm sure you can relate. Like you probably can put some things on right now, and it just kind of takes you back to a certain time, right?
Man, I got a lot of stories, like stories with the Eric B and Rakim Paid in Full album, Warren G's first album, like you said, the Snoop Doggy Style, Dre Chronic. First time I heard LL's first album, radio album, crazy. I mean, the first time I heard Run DMC, Sucker MCs, crazy. Like that's another one that just takes me back to just that time. You know what I mean? That era. It was just a great time to be alive, man.
Yeah. That's the same thing for me. And like, especially going through the years, like I'll put on something right now and it might make me think of specific, like when I was living in Missouri for like my senior year or something, I put on something else and it makes me think of when I was living in this place, or all the times I spent driving up and down the streets, like, or like Corn, like it's another story for another day, but it's a pretty bad car accident involved in some Corn music. Their Life is Peach, Follow the Leader album.
Yeah.
But now, like moving on, like I see you knock out the reviews and all that stuff. So you got any plans for like if you want to like expand the music part of your channel past just the
See, the thing with the music part is that a lot of good music, well, it hasn't been a lot of good music to me, in my opinion. That's why I haven't been dropping many music reviews like that. Like a lot of albums they have no replay value. A lot of stuff that I find myself trying to review, I feel it. I see that it has a potential of being something that I will play again and again. But some of this stuff that has been coming out lately, I can't deal. It's just the time we living in, and a lot of it is just, I mean, I ain't even gonna sugarcoat it. A lot of stuff is trash, man. A lot of it. Like I find myself going back to older stuff just in my playlist to listen to,
Yeah, I do the same thing because it's, I mean, if you grow up and you spend years listening to certain things of a certain type or whatever, you're not going to block other things out, but you come to realize like what you like, you know what I mean? And so you get into that, and then later on, as the world changes, you kind of like, well, I don't necessarily want to listen to some of this, but you deal with it, I guess.
Yeah. But especially if you came up in the era of the best music of all time, like I feel like the 80s and the 90s, that was decades of the best music. So it's hard to try to put something that came out yesterday and say it's better than something we've heard already. That's just my opinion on it. Like it's tough. Yeah. I can't say like Little Baby is the GOAT or somebody that's out right now. I can't say something like the Migos is the best group of all time. I can't even fix my mouth to say something like that and be serious about it. They were saying the Migos was better than Bone Thugs and Harmony and all that. Like I can't sit here and say that. Bone was a hell of a group. You can't put the Migos over Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because there's a lot of that old stuff from whoever that just still carries a lot of weight, Like for me, like I had to be like a big Earth, Wind, and Fire guy, right? And they were talking about how they were going to make new albums, and they're like, people come to our shows to hear certain things. So it's like they'd appreciate new stuff, but they really want the old stuff because, some people just know what their audience wants, And going to the shows, though, that's how I used to find out about new stuff, because usually if you like somebody and you go see them, they're probably going to bring some similar people out there with them.
Exactly.
But now it's like, when I listen to something on, maybe I listen to something on Spotify and it's generally pretty good, I'm not going to knock them, but I'm always a little hesitant to listen to something they suggest, like, hey, you might like this. I'm like, I feel like I won't, but that is one thing that I would like to see coming back. Did you ever go to a lot of shows or anything, or did you just?
I went to one concert. I went to one concert in my life, and that was Jay-Z when he was at the Apollo Theater. That was November. I had to get the ticket. I can't remember off the top of the head, but It was the American Gangster tour, and that's when he had brought out the whole state property. He had Diddy with him. He had Nas. He had LeBron. Like that was probably one of the best concerts I ever seen in my life. The only concert I ever seen. So after seeing that, I feel like I don't have to see anything after that. Like that was just. I remember being there front row, just singing every song that he spit that night. Every song, crazy. Like I wasn't even human at that time. It was just I was somewhere else. Like crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's the best thing because like I was gonna start like when I got here, I was all prepared to start going and seeing shows all the time because most people like on tour, you're gonna pass through Virginia Beach or DC. It's just common, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then the world had different ideas, but that is cool. So what all else do you get into as far as? I mean, I know you're not gonna make videos out of all your other hobbies or whatever, more than likely, but
I
what
might.
else is your time?
What else do man. I got a notebook. I got like a whole bunch of notes. I like to write a lot. Not necessarily like rhyme and anything. Just I like to take notes a lot. So I might start putting a lot of that into my videos, stuff like that. I wouldn't call it a diary or nothing like that, but whenever I have a wild thought in my mind, I like to just write it down or whatnot. But
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Mine often make it to Instagram in little 1 minute clips, but I did. There was a while where I used to just kind of like document little things throughout my day or whatever, just because something might happen that's kind of funny or just insightful, and I would keep it somewhere, and I think they're all just saved in like drafts in my email or something, or and I'll see them from time to time when I'm like searching for something. I'm like, man, I do remember like getting lost in this place or whatever, because it's like I said, everybody has their things they're into or whatever. So I'm just curious, like what all else. But now I know that coming up in a few months, your free time is going to be not going to have as much.
But see though, I'm gonna put her in my videos though. When she gets starts growing and stuff, she's gonna be in the videos, like because she has a shoe collection already. Like I've been copying shoes for her on the low already. Like I'm about to Air Max her to death.
And I saw that, and not to give away, I'm not going to give away what your list was for your top 10 for 2020, so people can go and watch it and see that for themselves. But
yeah,
when you like your end shoe on there, man, that was a crazy story. Like,
I mean, and it was my dad. He caught that. We was watching the video together, right? And he just asked, when that release, and I was like, okay. I said this, and he was like, yo, when she coming? I was like, she's coming this month too. It was like, it still went over my head. It still didn't hit me right away. Like I said, like 5 minutes later, and I thought about it, I was like, yo, that's scary. Like you can't make that up.
Yeah, because like for the shoe to come out in February and then her to be on time to be born in February, it's like, man, that is a crazy coincidence. And then that's going to be her first pair,
Yeah, that's her first pair
from a year earlier.
Yeah. Like you got a shoe, your first shoe is a shoe that came out in February a year ago. It don't get any better than that. Like she's spoiled rotten already, and she hasn't done anything. She hasn't even touched the surface of the earth yet. All she's been doing is been kicking lately. Like she was kicking me the other day. Kicking.
Man, but that's crazy though. Like, so you excited and all that? I mean, how's everything else going with that?
Yeah, it's the closer the time come, I'm getting really excited for it, man. It's gonna be beautiful, man. She gonna be hell. Ooh, if she got anything in me, gonna be hell. Like I'm calmed down a lot compared to what I used to be. But if she got any little bit of me in her, because man.
And that's kind of how I feel, because like I mean I don't have any kids or whatever, but it's like knowing what I know about me, it's like dealing with that.
A little version of you is gonna be wild. Like you already through the roof anyway. Just another version of you, a boy version.
Yeah, so I'm just like, man, that would be. I mean, there's both sides of there's the side that'd be like it'd be cool to have in some ways have this little mini Tristan running around or something, but at the same time, it's like Am I ready for that? To
Yo, I can't even say I was 100% ready, but I gotta blame COVID for that. That's when we was shut down. We was shut down for what a month or whatever. So hey, I mean, what we was doing, we was in the house, we watching movies. You know, I was doing videos, and then boom, yeah, the rest was history. I mean, made a little COVID baby. I mean, that's probably like the best thing that happened for me in 2020.
Man, there's probably going to be like now that you say that, because I never really thought about that, but now that you say it, there's probably going to be a lot of kids born around
Little pandemic babies. Yeah.
The pandemic baby.
Pandemic babies. Think about when they get on the talk. When was you born? I was born during a pandemic. One of the worst of all time. I was made then.
It's gonna be like the Great Depression or something. But man, yeah, that is crazy though, because now like they'll start being born. Because I know a lot of people the lockdown over here wasn't really like that serious. You know what I mean? It was. I think there was a curfew at some point.
Yeah, we had a 7:00 curfew over here.
I think ours was like 10 or 11 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just when I would go out, because that was when I was doing like a lot of bike riding and all this stuff, and you go out to like Virginia Beach, and people are just out there. You know what I mean? Because it's especially once it was like April, stuff like that, and like the weather was kind of decent. Mm-hmm. People just come up here from wherever they lived and just be out there doing whatever they wanted to do.
It was looking like it was looking like 2019, right? It didn't even look like 2020. People were just out here just like, even now it looks weird seeing people without their mask now. Right? You out in public, put your damn mask on. What you doing?
I'll see pictures because like I use like the Google Photos thing, and it'll be like, hey, check out this picture from like X years ago or whatever that happened like on this day. I'm like, man, that is like a totally different thing. And now it's like I see people having like Chris Jericho just had like a concert the other day or whatever, and now everybody's mad at him because he's out there, and you see all the people with no masks on and all this stuff. And I get it, I get where these people's minds are, but I don't support it. I just understand. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Remember, I was telling you in the on IG, I had my little scare. Like, what was it? 2 weeks ago? A week? Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, right? I had a headache and a stomach ache for like 3 days, right? I went to work, and I probably was there maybe 30 minutes, and they got me the hell out of there quick. I had to go to the nurse. They said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Yo, my head is hurting. My stomach is killing me." They sent me straight to the nurse. They checked my temperature. I didn't have a fever, none of that. But within 5 minutes after that, they said, "Hey, get out of here. Go get tested. Don't come back until your results come in." So they ran out of tests, the rapid tests at the place I went to. So I had to go to the hospital. So they had the regular test. So the regular test, you have to wait 5 to 7 days to get your results. So they was like, stay quarantined. I actually did it the right way. I stayed in the house, right? I didn't do anything. I remember my parents and my girl, they'll bring me food and stuff. They'll drop it off on the porch and then run back to the car. They wasn't trying to have no contact with me, and none of the above. So I literally stayed in, but I didn't have any energy to do anything. You know what I'm saying? I was just so weak. I was exhausted. But I got my results in. All I had was stomach virus. It's been a stomach bug going around. So I didn't have any COVID-19 or 18 or COVID-20. I had none of that. So everything, I just had a bad stomach virus. But my job, they don't play that. Like, even to this day, they still kicking people out left and right,
See, and that's the thing, like, because for me, given I have some lung issues, I'm in like one of those at-risk categories. So like on a normal day, like I can have some problems, but now it's like when it happens, it's like, man, like it's kind of hard to breathe off. So it's like, is this it? Is this how it starts? Or is this just another day, And it sucks, like, because of having that uncertainty. Because I thought my mom had it, and because she got it from my dad, because he was doing all this like volunteer work helping the like disabled veterans and stuff, you know what I mean? So not surprising that he would walk away with something. And hearing them talk about it, I'm like, man, this is not what I want. So hopefully the stuff kind of eventually gets all worked out. I thought it'd be done by now, but You know, I
Man,
think everybody did.
I don't like having a regular cold or just having a regular flu. And you try to give me COVID, I don't want none of that. And I remember when it was just the first symptoms was difficulty breathing, a
Yeah.
slight cough. That was the only symptom. Now it's diarrhea, headaches. Like you can sprain your ankle now, they gonna say it's COVID. Like it don't matter what you do in life right now, they gonna say it's COVID. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, my back is itching. Oh, you got COVID. I can't see out of my left eye. I got COVID. Like it's ridiculous now.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and that's like one of those things where even like the associated issues, it's like, like, hey man, like, can you come over? It's like, nah, like the truck's not working in like COVID, so I can't take it into the Nissan dealership because they're only doing so much right now. And it's like sounds like a bit of a reach, but I get it to an extent because I mean we're all feeling different effects of that part of it. But man, it's been one very weird year. So we'll see what happens next time around. But
I think we owe 2019 an apology because you know how this time of year we so ready to get into the next year, like we just completely just forget everything about the year we in.
yeah,
Like I would like to go back and just say, hey, I apologize 2019 for forever. You know what I'm saying? Looking at
yeah.
you the way.
Because I look back at it and like 2019 wasn't a bad year. You know what I mean? It's just like the new year comes around, and honestly, I treat every day like it's just another day. I treat every year like it's just another day, essentially. And so last year, I'm like, okay, started doing the YouTube thing, met a bunch of people and all that stuff. I'm gonna move at the end of the year. That's cool. So I'm thinking like, okay, 2020 is like this is gonna be just as good as 2019 probably, as long as I keep doing what I'm doing.
Man, when Kobe passed, everything went left.
Man,
That
it
it.
sure did. It sure
That
did.
was it. Like, man, God bless Kobe, man. God bless his family. I mean, that one hurt, man. Like with that, when that happened, it was just everything just went left.
Yeah. And now
Sheesh.
there's like travel issues with people because not everybody wants to. Like for you, is your family around where you live for the most part? Or?
My parents are 5 minutes away.
Oh.
They literally 5 minutes away. Now my other family members, like my brothers and all them, they back in New York, and I got family in Georgia, New Jersey, scattered out all over. But my parents, yeah, both of them, they're 5 minutes away.
See, and that's for me. It's my mom, dad. They're down in Charleston in South Carolina, but everybody else is in Iowa, and that's like my mom. She's like, hey, you should come to. Where did they go? They visit my brother in Vail in Colorado, and I was like, I'm not really sure that I want to go. Like, I want to be there, but I'm not sure I want to go through the process of getting there. You know what I mean? Because then it becomes just like, what's it worth to you? It's like, don't get me wrong, I like the family and all that. There's pretty all right, but sometimes you gotta make sure it's the right decision. I'm thinking like, well, as long as things hold strong, like I can catch up with them later. But
yeah, absolutely, right.
Just see what the future brings.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to the chat.
Oh yeah. I see them, and like I can't focus a whole lot on that because talking to you and everything. But thank you to everybody who is passing through, listening to us talk and all that good stuff. For those of you who weren't in here earlier, we're just sitting back, and I'm just wanted to invite him over to just kind of sit back and talk a little bit. So people who pass through, because no matter how many subscribers you have or how many he has, whatever, I'm going to have at least one that he doesn't. So maybe that person might be watching and they'll see him like, this guy's cool. Like, we like some of the same music. Let me go check out these music reviews. You know what I mean? Let me go and see what this top 10 video is all about, and hopefully get some eyes on him. Because again, when you kind of have an idea of the type of person you're watching, that's what really lets you know if you can actually
that's what you get.
Deal with them. You know what I'm saying? And again, going back to however long we've known each other, we've always gotten along pretty great. You know what I'm saying? Especially with like the lives and all that. And this talking about like the wrestling and everything.
Like how like you see that, how you see a commercial with the advertisement of the food, it looks perfect on the plate, it looks good. Yeah. That's me. I'm gonna be that. I'm that plate of food on the commercial. Like it's not gonna be a messy sandwich or none of that. It's gonna look just like the same way you get it. You know what I'm saying? Same way. Because you know, videos on TV, they look great, but then when you get it in hand, it looks horrible. It doesn't like the commercial.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, that's because I know not everybody puts themselves out there. Sometimes, like, what you see in the video is only what's related to the video, right? Because I watch like my tech things and whatever, and like they'll sit there and they'll just talk about the specifics of things. I have no idea what this dude is like. I just know that he has the information that I'm looking for. So like that can be enough to kind of watch some more videos or whatever, because you know they're going to tell you some stuff. But at the same time, personally, I get more invested in people when I know who they are and like what kind of person they are and whatever. Hey, right. DJ Dell's just popped in. What's going on? What's going on?
The only difference with me on my videos, all my videos, is on my videos I don't curse. Cause I have family that watch me. I got nieces and nephews that watch me, and of course other kids. I'm sure they gonna come across the channel as well. So I try to like dumb that down. I don't do any cursing or anything like that. Which I don't curse a lot anyway, but I do get my curse on. I do. But pretty much what you get is it's the same thing with me though. I'm not gonna give you anything different. I'm just giving you me. But you gotta be yourself from the jump anyway. Don't try to be nothing you're not. Just you gotta do it for the love. Do it for the passion for it. That's it.
And that's the biggest thing, because I mean, for one, like you said about like the cursing, and I know like I'm the same way. You know what I mean? It's easy because, you know, growing up and having like for a long time, I always had a younger brother or sister. You know what I mean? Just because of the age differences and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You try to keep things a certain way, like around them. Now they're like, she's like, the youngest one is 20 now. She'll say whatever she wants to. So but at the same time, there's still like the YouTube side of it where it's like, you know, I don't want to come in here like Tony D2 Wild or something, you know, just it's like that's not really for everybody. So it's like, so, and then I think it involves like flagging the channels or whatever. So I just talk in a way that is accessible for everybody. Same thing that you do. And then you just present everything like, hey, I'm going to be straight up front with you. This is what you're getting when you watch my channel, right?
Like I got little people that look at me like I'm just like a god when it comes to this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a great feeling, and I can't go left and just start and I don't give about this shoe. Like you out of here, you know, like now give me on IG or something. I give you all of that. You know, catch me in person. Yeah, I do that. But as far as the YouTube, my platform, I can't. I just got too many little people watching that I love, and you know, I just want to just lead by example. You know, that's it.
Right, and because even still, like some people, that's just, even if like they're older people or whatever, and like they're not going to be offended by that language. Sometimes they just don't want to hear it anyway. You know what I mean? So you just put it out there how you put it out there, and
right.
Because as long as that's where it is, the content's where it needs to be.
What was that?
What's that?
Is it what happened? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, like, as long as, you know, you're presenting the stuff in a way that makes sense and the content is where it needs to be, then it'll be good. You know what I'm saying? And then you can just sit back, watch the channel grow or whatever. But so speaking of that though, because I know we brought up some like watching other people or whatever. Were there some other people that like you watched that kind of like, I won't say inspired you, but made you think like, yeah, you know what? I think I can do this.
I can name a few. I could start off with Scoop 208. I used to watch a lot of my earlier YouTube days. I used to watch like a lot of car videos, like, you know, cars with like candy paint and like that, you know, systems. I was into that type of stuff, you know, during that time. And I remember seeing it was a LeBron video. It was a real versus fake by Scoop 208. So at the time, I didn't even know they had fake shoes going around like that, or even fake shoes. They even looked that good. So I remember clicking on it, and I remember seeing a whole list of other people that was doing it as well. So I didn't know that was even a thing. You know, just shoe reviews and stuff like that. That was like brand new. But at the time, I wasn't even collecting shoes like that. I think I was just like I've had different episodes when there were different periods in life where I started my collection over. I've sold stuff, got rid of stuff, bought stuff again. But this is the most consistent I've been, you know, in a long time with shoes. Not probably since high school or whatever. I've been doing it since, you know, the early 90s, shoes, but this is the most I've ever been consistent with it. But I'm gonna say Scoop 208. I would watch, of course, Mike Rich. I would watch Ron reviews. Cause Ron, just check him out. Homer Simpson, he's another one I would watch.
He was one of the guys I watched too.
Galavet. Who else? Am I missing somebody? I did a video on this a long time ago. That was like one of my earlier videos. I talked about YouTubers that inspired me that I would watch.
Okay.
And it's about 10 of them that just stood out to me that I would watch on a regular basis. Still do. Yeah, still do. Yeah.
And that's the thing, because it's like I watched people before I started doing this, because everybody does, but not once did I ever watch a Seth Fowler video and think, you know what, I like Ultra Boost. I have some. I could talk about. I didn't even consider it, because it always seemed to me like YouTube people were like on this whole other
tier, level. Yeah,
like they were out there, like they were mildly famous, and people like wanted to flock to them. It just, me being the kind of guy that I am, like, no, it just didn't seem right. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what was crazy too, though? The fact that just having the bigger YouTubers like that just respond back to you in the comments. To me, that was like one of the dopest things at that time. Oh, yeah. You got all these subscribers, you got all these comments, and you took time out of your day to respond to me. Which, even us being this platform now, like, you never know whose day we are making when you respond to a comment like that.
Right.
Like, you never know, because you never know how these people look at us. So, it's kind of just a beautiful thing, because I remember being in that same situation. You too, you know what I'm saying? We've been there before. We've commented, and then they comment back, even if it's just a thanks, bro, you know what I'm saying? Or just, just any little thing, like, it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? You responded back to what I said. That's dope,
Exactly. And that's why, like, 99% of the time, I'll reply to the comments, and I do my best to, like, not just, copy and paste like each reply or whatever, give them something somewhat personalized based on whatever they said. Because I remember watching a what was it? You just said his name. I can't think of it now. I remember watching a Homer Simpson video, and I knew he was a Seinfeld guy, and I made a joke about Seinfeld in one of the episodes, in one of his videos in the comments, and he responded to it. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool, because I used to just not bother commenting because I figured, like, these guys are not going to respond to anything. And then when I would, sometimes it's like, people don't. You're like, okay, yeah, you got all these subscribers, sure, whatever. But then some of the other people that I watch that have even more stuff going on, like, I'll go and I'll say something to them, and they'll type out an actual reply, like a sentence or two, and say, based off of whatever it was I said.
Mm-hmm.
And so knowing that can do something for people. Now, obviously, everybody has seen how I reply to certain comments. That aside, I reply to it, and sometimes people see the humor in it. Sometimes they don't. But it doesn't go unacknowledged, and that's the biggest thing to me.
Yo, especially if they ask you something that you clearly said in the video.
That's when all bets are off.
I said this in the early part of the video. The first 2 minutes of the video. So you mean to tell me you didn't watch at least 2 minutes of the video, and you come in the comments and ask something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, like, wow.
Like, yeah, people are weird about the comments, and because, like, somebody did say once, like, oh, well, I hadn't finished watching the video, or it's like, I didn't get to that point in it. It's like, no, you just didn't try. Like, trust me. Like, there's timestamps,
Like, yeah, but sure, you put it right there. Like, you telling the exact time. So there's no room to even ask no questions like that. Like,
right. And now it's like, yeah. So now, like, out there and having like in that like over 1,000 range, like when people see the channels, it's like, if let's say they don't have one, or they just started one, someone's gonna show up and look at your channel and think, like, man, this is a real channel right here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself is also kind of crazy because it's like there's, you know, however many people come through, like, you know, watch your reviews, because, and you know how it is, like each one will get different numbers, right?
Yeah, you
sure, like,
don't know what a video is gonna do.
Yeah, but I'm sure you've had your ones where it's like maybe you didn't expect it for that particular one, but it'll get some crazy views, right?
Yo, I think my strongest video to date is probably my LeBron 17 infrared video. That video was at damn near 50K.
Jesus.
It reminds you, I just did that video just because I love the 17s. It was just nothing. I called my homie up, my homie Ken. We went to a store and we just shot the video. We just did it like any other video, and the numbers just went through the roof. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. Like I've reviewed some things and it's like it might be late, you know what I'm saying? But for some reason, that's the one people find. And that's the one people watch. I've had some videos like that I don't even think are good. And people are responding to them like, man, thank you for this. I'm like, really? Okay.
I ain't gonna front though. I didn't had a couple of videos where I was like, I know this is gonna go crazy. I can't wait to do this one. This one's gonna go crazy. I know it is. Wait till I upload this one. I just know.
I've only called it successfully like, well, there was like the VaporMax 360, because I knew that it was like, I don't think people are really gonna be looking at this, and I bought it day one, even though it was expensive. So I was like just kind of early. But then my Air Max Plus 3 video, I bought because I was like, I'm interested in it. I had no idea that people would care about that. But it's like, again, you know, you just put this stuff out there, and then when people show up and they see like the channel, it's like, man, this could be the thing that inspires somebody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then if you talk back to them or whatever, and I try to, maybe that'll be the thing that just like, you know what, like, I think this is gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make this video. I'm gonna get out there, start doing whatever channel makes sense to you. And I'll say like, and I'll ask you the same question. Well, I guess you already answered it, but for me, like looking back at it, if I had just like thought to myself, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel, but what do I want it to be about?
What do you want to be about? Yeah.
Shoes would not have been the first answer. Like, not at all. It's funny that that's how it worked out. You know what I'm saying? Because I like it. Would have been music or wrestling related. Maybe tech stuff, because I also, you know, I'm also into that.
Right.
You got to follow to keep up with the tech world. There's a lot of reading you have to do, keeping up with specifics of technology or whatever. Because, you know, computer stuff, that's my thing. But now it's like you got to look at the future. And it's like, so is there anything that you want to accomplish with your channel past here, other than getting your pen worked out?
Yeah, I hope to have my pen soon, which I seen a way to do it, but I think you gotta request a pen 3 times. So I got like one more request before I could go to the next step to get in my pen. But I can't say. Well, I'm gonna throw it out there. Like I'm gonna be done with Jordan soon. Like it's only a select few that I really just need. The Carmines, I need 2 pairs of those. I wouldn't mind. I need the cool grays, but I'm about to get out of the whole just buying Jordans just to be buying Jordans. Like I need just certain colorways. So
yeah,
I eventually want to transition into like just kind of like the lane you in, you know, just Air Maxes. I want to focus on my daughter. I want to vlog more.
They're also a lot cheaper.
But look, she gonna have so many Air Max, they gonna think she's your daughter. I'm telling you. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm about to Air Max her to death, man. Like, and plus they look so cute when they small like that. I love the way they look. Like the little air bubble and everything, especially like the 90s, you know, the Air Max 90s and stuff. They look so dope. But
I want cool having her little like shelf or whatever you get to have her shoes out.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm keeping all her shoes, so I'm not throwing any of them away. When she grow out of them, I'm keeping them unless it just get out of hand. But I'm keeping, you know, what I'm saying, the OG colorways that she have and things, you know. But it's gonna be a beautiful thing. And also, I got a
since they're so small, you know.
Yeah, I got a stepson too, so he's 6, so he's starting to learn how to take care of his shoes better. So he's gonna be on cam with me. and he's gonna be doing some on foots and stuff like that. So it's it's still gonna be me, but it's gonna be the focal point is gonna be them. But I do want to get into more vlogging, and I actually want to shoot a documentary one day. Just on a whole bunch of other things. Just I'm getting older. I just don't see myself. Man, I put these raffles in for this Jordan, whatever, and I just see that going into my 40s. That's just me. To each his own. But hey, I'm still gonna be sneakers, just not Jordans as much.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's your money, so you gotta put it where it makes sense for you. So for me, it's like, yes, I could buy different stuff. You know what I mean? To like which would get more views and all that. But sure, but I'm good, like, because then people are gonna start showing up that are into something that I'm not necessarily into myself, and so that's kind of a problem for me. So if I'm always putting up all these like Air Max and Ultra Boost channel or videos, and people come to the channel and they're like, oh man, like I really like these, I really like those. I make a huge chunk of my views comes from like the UK and Australia and stuff, where where those things are popular. So they come up here, we can talk back and forth, talk about like our favorite Air Maxes and stuff. But when I put up a Jordan video, which is usually a 12, right? To be completely honest.
That's your favorite. It's your favorite Jordan, right?
Yeah. So like, if I get one day one, right? I go and I put that review up on Saturday afternoon. It'll get that little spurt of views like that day because it's right out there. But because, and speaking from an algorithm standpoint, after that it just kind of fades off into the abyss because people don't come to my channel for that. So I go to the bottom of the list when you're looking for Jordan reviews.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The thing with that is it's a race to the finish line with some of these reviews. I mean, this is what killed me this year. If I don't hit in the store, it's not gonna be a good review for me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm gonna still, do it, put my 1-2 on it. But at the same time, it's like you got people that's getting the early access, or they're hitting in their stores or whatever. So it's kind of like, even with these the Blue Royals, the Hyper Royal 13s, I got those coming to me. But by the time I do my video, it's like I'm late to the party with it. I mean, I'm sure I got it, but it's like, everybody else, it's 1,000 videos on that shoe already. Same thing with the Jubilees. I mean,
and that's the thing. Like I was talking to last night I was talking to Homegrown Kicks for a while about that stuff, and it's like, when you have those videos, if you're not out there early, and even if you're out there early, it's not guaranteed. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make a better video than somebody, but that doesn't really matter. Like they're gonna go where they're gonna go, and so I just look at it. And it's like, well, it doesn't even matter. So like I buy other stuff in general, like a lot of the things that I do buy, like they kind of have, I'll get some older videos popping up with like comments and stuff because they still hold a little weight. Like you can go into a lot of places. Like remember all those Air Max 90s that came out this year?
Mm-hmm.
I'll still get comments and views on like the turquoise pair or the orange pair or whatever, because it's something that people are still buying and they're still into. And like they want to know some stuff about it. When it comes to like a Jordan review, your average person that's looking to get like the Fire Red 4 or whatever, they don't read a review. They watch it just because they might want to look at it, might want to see it in some different on feet or whatever, but they're already sold on it. They don't care what you have to say. They don't need the sizing information. They're just like, let me go and look at this until Saturday comes out when I can get my
I got a pair of 35s on the way, so I've been trying to watch videos on them, but it's not really many videos on that colorway. It's the I got the Dynasty colorway on the way. That's the black, yellow, and red colorway. So I'm excited about those. Of course, I've been watching Hyper Royal 13 videos, until my pair come. So I got a couple of pairs of MX 90s on the way. So I'm gonna drop videos for those to show what I got. But at the same time, it's like, I'm late to the party. But I do it for the love. I love to edit. Like I love to do all that stuff.
And that's how I feel. Because and you can probably agree that there are times when you put a lot of effort into a particular edit, like there might be like 2 minutes of a video, and you spend like an hour perfecting it. And like,
Man.
it might not be appreciated by everybody, but some people will notice it and be like, man, like, because I'll watch videos and I'll often think to myself, like, so, like how to replicate that effect or whatever,
Man. Like all the work I put into my own foots, the way I chop it up and edit it my own foots, it's only get 100 views. I be want to throw stuff. I be want to kick chairs over everything. I'm like, damn, man, like I gave you 1,000% in that video.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because like, and you put the stuff out there, and again, it's like people will see it, but like not everybody really sees what you put into it.
Yeah.
Look at it like, okay, like if you told all those people, like, okay, you know what? Here's the raw footage. You make that clip that I just made. I'm like, wait,
You
what?
did that. You did that one time. Like you was setting up your cameras and everything. You were setting up the whole setup, the scenes.
Yeah. I didn't. It was like a 20-minute video because I was actually making a video that day, and I just kind of documented the whole process from start to finish, and just so people. And I know not everybody's gonna sit there and watch that, but I had like some fellow YouTube people that watch it and think. I told my whole process, right? Which, some people caught on to some things like, hey, you know what? That might help me make my videos a little smoother, or that's a good idea. Like I didn't even consider that. So some people watched that stuff and they walked away with something out of it. And that was kind of what I wanted to do, So if some other random person happens to want to start a channel, they type in like making YouTube videos, maybe that'll pop up and they'll get some tips too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At the end of the day, it's like, it's not easy. I mean, it's, what you're doing, right? And even for me, I was recording videos before doing this, right? And it's like, I'll sit there and I'm thinking, okay, setting up the camera, put the little light over here so it's lit decently, recording it, doing the on feet, recording the other one, doing that on feet. Like, I got some time. I think I can pull this off. So
I'm at work one day, right? And it was some people. They was trying to go out that night, and I was like, I got some videos I gotta do. I gotta, edit some videos or whatever. So the girl was like, yeah, he just want to go home and do his little YouTube videos. So I'm like, I blacked out. I was like, hold on, wait, you don't even know what go behind the videos. Like you have no idea. She thinking it's just a little 10-minute process with these videos. Nah, this thing can take 2-3 hours, depending on what you're trying to do. Because
it can.
It's a reflection of you. You can't just put anything out there like that. Nah, it work like that.
Now I get like if you watch my first couple videos, same with you, like yes, then it was just like record, talk, stop, upload, done. No thumbnail. Like just
you learn as you go.
Right. But now it's like I sit there and like you want to make a decent thumbnail for them. Usually that's going to catch some attention. If I'm going to do a live, it's like the picture I made for this, that thumbnail, it's like, let me find a picture of JJ. Let me get like a decent scenery background, throw some stuff in there. Or like when I do like the sneaker battle things, I put a bunch of time into making a thumbnail that is going to be seen by like 50 people for like 2 seconds. They'll see it on Instagram and some people will like it, some people will comment, whatever. But like, it's like a personal victory, right?
Right. Like, it is.
You see what you want to happen. And sometimes you got to push through a lot to pull that off.
That's why I have multiple notebooks. Like I've been in a situation where like it'd be the wee hours of the night. I'm asleep. I have a vision of something. I dream about something. I'll hop up. Let me write that down before I forget that. Because by the time morning comes, it's gonna be out of my head. Like my mind's just moving so quick, and it's the whole thought process. Because kind of like you got a vision of how you want your video to be before you even do it. Like before you even get to shoot, especially if you get it from Sneakers Out, it's like, okay, like my J Balvin video. I knew I wasn't gonna, do it on foot with that, but it was kind of like, okay, let me start processing how I want this to go. You know what I'm saying? Just to get the best out of it. And if you watch that video, I wasn't even in my best mood. Like I felt terrible that day. Like my energy was down. You know what I'm saying? But I had to push it out though. but that was a tough one. That week, I think everything I put out that week was tough. That's when I had my little stomach bug or whatever. But I was 14, so I had nothing else to do, you know.
Yeah, it's man, I can't think of like any. I mean, the tough videos for me, it's like the ones where like Air Max Day, that was all my fault for being a procrastinator. But it's one of those things. It's easy to procrastinate because it pays off immediately, right? It's just like the future you is totally inconvenienced. But that recording like 9 videos back to back to back to back.
No, stop. Let me stop you right there. Let me just stop you right damn there. Let me stop. Cause you had a period where you was going stupid. I'm gonna say you hit like 2K and you just started going crazy. You was dropping. I don't know. It's just like every time I got online, you was dropping a video. You was dropping a video, like multiples in a day, every day, consistent, like crazy. I said, how can anybody keep up with that? Come on, man. Like, I can't. I had a whole bunch of other stuff going on. I was like, I'm not even gonna try to just This dude ain't human right here, dropping videos like that, man. I'm like, every couple of hours, boom, another one, another one, another one, another one.
That's the thing. Like I was telling Homegrown Kicks last night, because I called him like on Instagram, do one of those video things, because I had sent him like a gift card for something. He was like saying thank you, and we ended up talking about all this stuff for a long time, and talking about like the whole editing and putting out these videos. And there will be times, because like I don't really have anything else going on, I can sit back and it's like, okay, if I come home, I got so into the groove of like, if a shoe comes in, I'm doing the review that day, period, because it's here. And so if I go to work, I go to the gym, I come home, I eat, it's like, well, I'm probably going to be up till like 1 a.m, but this video is happening tonight. And
hey, well, leave me alone, man. Let me look like a toddler then.
Wait, what?
I'm a 36-year-old toddler then. Yeah, I'll be 37 next year, man. Let me grow. Let me get bigger. Pause.
Man, I just saw that because again I was in the conversation, but man, and BAA, what's going on, man? And he's one of those guys. He's been around doing this for so long. It's like, and I wonder about that with me. It's like, because like I don't see me getting out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point of just saying, like, you know what, I'm done, because it's always going to be an interest. You know, I just wonder like, what is it going to be like in like 5 or 10 years? Am I going to still be buying as many as I do now? Because that's space-wise, that would be a problem. I mean, like I said, like in one of my past videos, since my brother wears the same size, like I can kind of like offload some stuff to him. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm sure if you look at your collection right now, there are certain things that if you had to downsize that you would not consider getting rid of. But then there's the other stuff, right? But
like, I got 2 locations. I got like I said, my parents, they live 5 minutes away, so I got stuff over there too.
See,
so it's no way I can have everything at the spot I'm at right now. It's no way in hell. I couldn't. Nah, I mean, even with what I got right now, it's starting to get a bit overwhelming. So eventually, I gotta dumb it down.
Man, I definitely appreciate that, AWOL. I seriously do. Like the grind, as you know, he's another content creator, and it's difficult. But man, like over at my parents' house, because before this, actually, like, yeah, action figures probably would have been a YouTube channel.
You got double ups, don't you?
What's that?
You got double ups, don't you? Like double up pairs.
I have a couple doubles. I have the University Gold 12s, the Game Royal 12s, the semi-frozen yellow Yeezys, 2/3 of the Air Max Curry Pack, Zions, I think, something else. I think I have 2 pairs of like some random other things too. And I have stuff that's in her closet that when I got there and I was doing all these like random unboxings last year, there was stuff in there that I forgot about, like where it would be in stock in Charleston. So I'm like, hey, Mom, like, can you go by Champs after work and pick this up? Like they say they have it in stock. And she's like, all right, yeah, sure. And then I might send her the money for it, but like we totally both forget about it. And so I get there and I'm like, what are all these boxes in here? But I also have a bunch of like, you know, because I also do like to buy the action figures and stuff. And some of that stuff was sent to her house. And it's like,
how many do you have?
How many shoes?
Action figures do you have?
Man, I don't even know. Because like I have a whole set of He-Man things that are just in a storage unit. I got a bunch of wrestling things that are mostly unboxed so they can be displayed. Got some like statues, and I got like Transformers, and it's a variety of things, man. But it's just one of those things, like looking at it now, it's like, and I do my action figure reviews sometimes. I'll probably be doing one next week now that they finally sent me my AEW figures. But man, that's one that takes a lot of work though. Like a lot of work. I did that Chris Jericho figure, and like I put him from out. I'm trying to get all these close-ups. I'm like, man, this is. I put more work into this than like any of my shoe reviews that I can think of, and get significantly fewer watches. But it's like, I mean, it's a solid video though. No one can argue that. But like again, just looking at it, like having so much now, how many pairs I have right now is I don't even know because I refuse to count. But in the future, it's like even if I say like, you know what, I'm only going to buy like 3 pairs of shoes a month, which is still a lot by some people's standards.
So how many did you buy this year alone?
Well, I'm going to guess probably, let's see, we'll go about 3 to 4 months. What's 4 to 40? I could see 50. Now, I'm not going to say I kept all 50, but I could see me having 40-ish that are mine. Because, you know, sometimes I buy stuff for other people, or I bought some Element 87s that I used for a review and then just gave them to my brother. But I could comfortably say 40. And I say comfortably because I'm pretty sure it's over 40.
I had like 40, 44. I say 44, but I kept maybe 35.
Okay.
Because yeah, 35. Other stuff, like I copped a lot. I copped stuff that some stuff wasn't my size. Some stuff I just didn't like when I got it in hand. You know, just you know how that goes. Just
yeah, because I try to look back and like my video numbers don't necessarily reflect review numbers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if I do like a challenge, or if I do like a collection video, or if it's just like maybe I already did a review of something, now I'm doing the performance review, because I'll do those with like running shoes sometimes. So just taking away all of that, it's like, yeah, I mean, there's a fair amount of them. It's just, especially like the Yeezy, like I've gotten through on most 350s this year, so that's probably like a decent number right there. Handful of like Ultra Boosts and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I need help when they come to Yeezys though. I don't have no luck with Yeezys. I got one pair, but that pair was gifted to me, and that's the I got the Cloud White ones.
Yeah, and see, that's the other thing that like makes me not want to buy shoes is that I like right now I completely forgot that the Cloud Whites were even a thing. I've never even worn those. I don't even know if I did it on foot with those. Like there was a time when like I think I didn't have a working like a small tripod, so I wasn't doing on feet or something like that. So I have a string of reviews with no on feet, and that might be one of them. Like I completely forget some stuff is even in my collection. You know what I mean? And like I'm not one of those people who has any pride whatsoever in like having like a large like dead stock collection, because I buy everything to wear it. I just don't always get to it quickly. You know what I mean? But and not to take anything away from people who do that, because I know there's different segments of the collection world. But ideally, I would wear everything that I have.
I the way my job. Well, I have different areas of my job where I have my dirty areas and I have my fresh areas. So I think for the last 2 years I've been in the dusty area, so I haven't been able to wear certain shoes, to work like I normally would. But I say this last maybe 4 months, I was able to just have a nice rotation of stuff, which they think I sell dope anyway at work, people anyway, because I was literally wearing a different pair of shoes every day, which a lot of us can, and it was just crazy just to just throw on just different LeBrons and Air Max and stuff, just and not get them dirty. Of course, I clean my bottoms and stuff like that. I'm real serious about that. But I think a lot of us, we just don't have time to just wear our shoes. Just depending on our job. Just some jobs don't allow you to have the tennis shoes or basketball shoes or whatever.
Right, and then there's also the factor of like the weather. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, around here, I'm mostly good. But if it's raining, there's certain things that I'm not going to wear, and there's certain things that I likely will wear. You know what I mean? Because
that's just knowing the type of saying the fabrics and
yeah,
on the shoe. My brother taught me that like a long time ago. I might have been like 7, 8 years old. He used to always tell me, watch the forecast, watch the weather, and I used to always do that before school, and I'm still like that to this day. Just even with, I'm gonna just say the 11s, the Jubilees out here in my area, when they got them, everybody put them on, and it wasn't the best looking day, but I just know when I pull mine out, it's gonna be crazy. Pause.
Yeah,
it's gonna be ridiculous. Like it's a lot of, I got a lot of kicks that everybody just beat up as soon as they get them. You know what I'm saying? Here, you know what I'm saying? Just in my area, they just run them into the ground. That's weekend.
That's like the other day when I don't know if you saw, I put up a video picture, whatever, because I was walking through the it's like a forest or whatever up in Newport News, because I was going to go run on some trails, but it's like I know it had kind of rained a little bit, and when it comes to like the ground drying over there, it's hit and miss because it's so shaded with like the trees.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, I'll show up with these shoes, and if it's good, I'll change out and I'll knock the run out. You know what I'm saying? And then even with certain things, like I get that they're shoes and they'll get messed up, but like my Dornbecker 7s, the reason I didn't wear those when I initially got them was because where I was living, it was just like the ground was bad, like rocks and dirt everywhere. And it's like, I'm going to just destroy these just leaving this home. You know what I'm saying? Just going to the car and like,
right.
Well, at least like let them look decent for a while. You know what I'm saying? So then I get here and it's like, well, now like mostly going to the gym, I want good shoes to run in, or like to work out in. But
see, I still have like now I think nowadays they call them beaters. Your old shoes. I call them play shoes, just like back in the day. I still got play shoes. I got shoes that I take the trash out in. Like I got shoes for that. Like I got a nice about 2 shoes that I consider play shoes. Doesn't matter. It's like I walk in the grass in them. I do all that. Like it doesn't matter. Anything can happen in them shoes.
That's like me. I have you probably know, but I have a pretty deep slide collection. So so I got slides for like outdoors, or if I'm wearing, if I'm just gonna be in, and I still don't want to wear the same thing regularly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, how's it with you? So for me, like if I'm gonna go out somewhere, right? Let's say it's a normal times, like
last year,
and I'm going out for the weekend. It's like going out for the day on a weekend.
Yeah.
If I go to the store and then I come home, and then I go to the movies and I come home, and then later I go to the gym, like that's 3 different pairs of shoes.
That's
I'm
3.
not wearing either pair again for like at least like 2 weeks.
Yeah, right, JJ. Yes, play shoes. Yes. That's what we called them back in the day. My mom would always call them play shoes, so I'm sticking to that. She ain't tell me otherwise. Boy, you better put them play shoes on. Don't go out there with them new shoes on. Put them play shoes on. Yeah. I still got my play shoes. Yep.
Yeah, and that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Might have to refer to that for a sneaker battle.
I wasn't playing kickball and stuff like that. I wasn't playing kickball in my J's and my Grant Hills and Iversons. I had these whatever else I had these Reeboks or whatever, something I was playing. whatever. These old Air Force Ones or whatever.
Yeah. I mean that like you have the stuff that eventually things will get there. You know,
Yeah.
it might take a while. Like, cause I'll have stuff that hey, I might just happen to have one bad day in it, and then all of a sudden it gets moved into that category. I
Yeah.
ran into that situation in where was it, in Florida once. I bought a pair of shoes just kind of like for that reason, and then they were pretty decent. I'd only worn them a few times, but then I ran up on a puddle that I didn't see coming, and shoes were never the same. So
Speaking of a shoe that's never the same, I want to talk about my 72 and 10s, my 11s. I had those, and I remember I wore them to work one day. You know, which like I said, at that time I was just pretty much wearing a different 11. I was wearing whatever I wanted to work. So me and this girl, we had some downtime on the line or whatever. So we was play fighting, wrestling or whatever. We was just doing, whatever. I messed around. I hit a sharp edge on something, right? A toolbox, right? I didn't catch it until I got home. I had the deepest scratch going across my toe box on my patent leather. I tried everything I could to get it out, but it was a wrap after that.
man,
And that shoe, at the time, that shoe was probably 3 years old. Still A1 condition, still on point, no creasing, no nothing, still flawless, right? Could have resold it. But man, when I got that scratch in it, it just instantly became a play shoe.
and
Man,
that sucks. Like that was,
the hell out of that shoe.
I mean,
Oh my
like,
God.
for me, that's one of the first shoes that I bought that was like expensive. You know what I mean? Because like 220, I guess.
Yeah.
It was either those or the University Blue Foamposite ones. I forget which one came out first, but that was like my first venture into buying something expensive, and I was like, man, like they were nice. Don't get me wrong, and I still like them a lot. But if they got scratched or something like that, because I'd want to replace them, but
Mhm.
I'm not paying what it takes to replace them.
I feel that. I feel that. But
I don't know what a 7210 goes for now, but I guarantee you it's more than retail, and therefore I'm out because I'm cheap.
see, that's one thing I told myself in 2021. I'm gonna probably go back and cop some stuff that I need to get. Like I still need to add the Travis Scott sixes. I still need those. I want to grab a off white 5.
Okay.
I want some 72 and 10s again. I do, because that to me that's one of the dopest non-OG colorways to come out in a long time. Like that, just the glitter on that thing. That's just a dope shoe to me. And honestly, if I would have had those, I probably wouldn't have grabbed the Jubilees. To be honest with y'all, like I probably
Yeah.
would. I'm glad I picked them up though.
I mean, I'm not gonna say the Jubilees are bad. I got nothing against them. It's just, again, having other stuff that was very similar. I was like, well, because I have the Space Jams and those 7210s, and it's like I'm good. Like I've got stuff that's pretty close, and I didn't want to pay that premium for them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's like I also, and like I was telling Homegrown last night, it's like I haven't worn a pair of 11s in like 2.5 to 3 years, right? Nothing against them, it just hasn't happened
Right.
outside of an on foot. So it's like again, man, like I want to start wearing more of this stuff before, not just like accumulating so much. But the thing is, and I'm sure you can relate, is like if you have the opportunity to get it right now at retail, you take it.
You got to. That, that's a must, man. Like
But King Tweezy,
shout out King Tweezy, my next up brother. Shout out to everybody in the chat also.
yeah, it's a size 9.
Yeah,
Jesus,
I need a size 9 in the 72 and 10s. What do you say they going for?
330.
330. That ain't too bad.
So yeah, I mean, then that's the thing. Like, I mean, after like speaking from that person's perspective, what if that's the StockX price anyway? After that, what they're making isn't a whole lot over what they paid for it if they paid retail plus taxes. So I kind of see, like what they're trying to do, but yeah, I still don't want to pay it.
Especially like gold prices.
But
Gold is higher than giraffe ass. Like gold is
So that's why I don't mess with any of that. But I look at the shoes that come out, and you know, I usually do a pretty good job staying with like my particular interests. What got me into shoes initially was the Air Max 360, right? When those came out, I was like, man, these are pretty comfortable. I'm gonna have to get another pair of these someday. I didn't know it would spiral out of control years later, but hey, it is what it is. And then before that, when I was in school, I remember seeing people with the questions, and I didn't know what they were at the time, but the 12s. So I was like, man, whatever those things are that these people are walking around with, very, very nice. One of these days, maybe I can get some nice shoes for myself. Took 20 years, but hey, it happened.
It happened. As long as it happened, that's all that matters.
Exactly. So what do you remember, like, what are some of the ones that stood out to you in like high school?
High school, I mean, of course, you know, Jordan's #1, but I remember, like, of course, Air Force Ones. Like at that time, it was strictly just the all whites or the all blacks. Like you couldn't go wrong with, you know, either one of those. But it was more so like the Deion Sanders, the Bruce Smiths, the Junior Seau. What else? What else? Oh, the Grant Hills. You know, Sean Kemp's. A lot of shoes that's retro and right now. You know, of course, all those was out back then, but it was just cool to see a different variety on everybody's feet, because even with Jordans back then, you didn't see a lot of people with them. Like we'll go to school, we'll cop them, but I remember going to school, there was only like maybe 4 or 5 people with them. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it was oversaturated. Everybody had the 11s, but you know, when you had the 11s back then, it just meant something. Like right now, I'm not in a hurry to wear certain shoes just because everybody has them on. Eventually, I'm gonna wear them, but it's just the thrill of having certain Jordans. It's just not there like it was back in the day, which I'm sure a lot of us can, you know, agree on that.
Yeah, there was, because I remember, because again, like at the time, I didn't really know what a lot of things were. But like, you know, I fast forward years later, and when people bring up like the different pennies coming out, you know, it's like, you know, I do remember those. Yeah, those were popular. Like, I remember seeing a lot of the black and the blue pair now that I think about it. Because at the time, like, I wasn't paying any attention to that stuff, you know? I was in high school, like, wrestling and the Insane Clown Posse was pretty much all that had my attention. So now it's like, you know, I'll be walking around and I'll notice all that stuff. And I see people in like my same like age group talking about like the things that they noticed in school. It's like, those are probably, if I've had like a yearbook or something and then had pictures in there, I'd probably see a bunch of people wearing certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Because like, I do remember the Grant Hills being everywhere.
Like
the
the
Iversons,
that
you know,
just
in Virginia, those were everywhere.
like 2 shoes that just really stood out. I'm gonna just dumb it down to 2. I'm gonna say for me, I'm gonna say it was probably the foam posits. Yeah, foam posits, and probably like the Scottie Pippen up tempos with the, you know, the AIR.
Yeah, the big ones. Yeah,
Like those. I'm gonna say the foam posits. That's a shoe that everybody couldn't get back then. Like, you know, me growing up, that was the dope boy shoe. A lot of dope boys had them. Like the drug dealers had them. That was like, I think at the time that was like the most expensive shoe.
it's still one of them. Yeah,
And
I mean, I
Jordan,
don't know what they were then, but just I'm sure back then
yeah,
they were equal to whatever, you know, inflation
yeah,
was.
back in like, you know, 96, you know, during that time. And of course, you know, Jordans was like 110, 120, 130, etc., you know, at that time. But the foam posits, yeah, that was a crazy shoe. It was ahead of its time, at that time. It was just to me, it was just a dope shoe, but it was just everybody didn't have it, you know. And that's what made them kind of special.
Right. And now it's like I don't I don't really see anything being super special personally, because it's like outside of things that are super limited, that's the only stuff you're not really going to see a lot of. But otherwise, like everything, and I, you know, looking past like stuff selling out or whatever, because that's its own separate issue. Like everybody is getting pretty much everything they want. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't look at anybody and think like, oh wow, like that's cool. I might see somebody with a dunk and be like, okay, this person clearly got lucky, or maybe they live in the right area, like they're in good with their skate shop or something. But everything else, it's like, especially like, you know, seeing the YouTube side of things. So I see more people that buy shoes. So it's not unheard of to like scroll through my feed and see people showing like, oh, like, you know, I won on finish lines somehow, or I won through flex and I'm going to go pick these things up. I see all that stuff all the time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And even still, like when I'm just walking through the mall or whatever, I'll see people wearing all kinds of stuff that's like, it may not be like the new thing that just came out, but it may be the big release from like maybe a month or two ago. You know, they're just kind of wearing it now. You know, like maybe somebody's wearing the mochas or whatever. Like those didn't just come out, but they still hold some value. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think I appreciate what they did with the dunks this year, even though I'm not a dunk person. I like them for everybody else. You know, shout out to everybody that's been messing with dunks before this dunk wave even started. I just don't want them to do the dunks like how they do the Jordan 1. Like, you know, they just put so many different colorways on it. But, you know, every time you look around, it's a different Jordan 1 coming out. I just don't want the dunks to be like that. I just don't want it to be oversaturated next year with just unnecessary colorways of dunks. Like, let's say coming out with this, you know, OG colorways or something like that. But
to me, like the dunk, like now I can't speak on the shoe itself, but it seems like it's just like a novelty shoe at this point, because it's like not every pair, but a lot of the pairs, like they come out and it's like, oh look, it's made off of like the Grateful Dead, and this one's made off of like, what's that ice cream company or whatever.
Jerry.
They'll have this other thing. It's like, look, it's like the turkey and the chicken and whatever. They'll have all kinds of stuff going on, and it's like, I mean, I don't like any of them, right? I rarely like to the point to where I would buy one for myself.
Okay.
And it's like, because I look at it and I'm just like, what in the world is going on with this shoe? Like, and there's always that argument of like, oh, the material is nice. It's like, yeah, but the presentation is awful. So it's like, you give me like all this high quality stuff, like, you know, it's handcrafted in Italy or something, sure, whatever, but it still looks like butt, and I'm not trying to have that. So, like, no, thank you.
Like I've tried to go for a few of them, but I don't have no luck. I haven't had any luck with dunks. Like I feel like I just need one dope colorway in my collection as far as dunks are concerned. I admit I've never been a dunk person before, but yeah, I do respect them. You know what I'm saying? I tip my hat to them, but it's just I just need one. I need that right colorway. You know, that's it.
Looking at, I can only think of so many dunks off the top of my head, right? But in bias aside, like, I mean, obviously, like the go-to would probably be like the Iowa one for obvious reasons. But bias aside, I think the one that I liked the most was the remember that journal pair? It looks like those black and white journals.
Yeah,
because like that just
the composition.
Like when I was younger, I used to draw a lot, or you know, I'd be like doing whatever. So that was kind of like a big thing for me. So for that reason, those would be cool to have, right? Because the way I always feel about it is like, if you have a connection to the shoe that you're looking at, then cool, you know, like otherwise I would just end up with a bunch of stuff that I'm buying because it's like the thing to buy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to go down that road because there's already a lot of stuff that I want that I can't get because I only make so much money, you know? So I'm not going to start allotting my funds and it's like, well, you know, like according to the trends, I got to get these. Like, nah.
Well, when you was dropping 2-3 videos a day, I thought you was rich. I did. Like,
I'd have to look back and see what it was, because it was like a lot of my collection, a lot of my little corner of this YouTube empire was built on some serious sales. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the Air Max things, you know, because for one, those are already cheap. Well, cheaper than your average Jordan. So I can go and I can buy a pair of like Air Max 1s for like if I have to pay retail, it's like 120. But if there's some kind of like, oh, Nike's celebrating Labor Day, and it's like, okay, there's 20% off, 30% off. And sometimes that's what's already marked down. So that's what I was cashing in on. You know what I'm saying? Now, there were the other things where your hands are tied, like, you know, I'm not going to get a Yeezy for under retail, minus the Citrons, but that was like a special case. But everything else, it's like, those I just have to pay full price for. But
Right.
if I can, like I always say with like the Yeezy videos, like, yeah, they're comfortable, but for $240, I could, if I find the right sale, I can get 3 pairs of Ultra Boosts for that price.
Mm.
And so that's where like I'll drop 3 videos in a day, because when something's on sale for 80, and it's a lot easier to say, you know what, I'll just get both of them. Whereas like when they're 180, you're probably only getting the one.
So since you put it like that, we talking about dropping videos, 2-3 a day. I'm gonna give y'all a little peek of what I'm gonna be doing next year. So my birthday is April 3rd, and y'all see my name is JJ AllDay, right? So that particular day, I'm dropping videos all that day. I'm talking like shoes I haven't reviewed yet. I'm dropping videos that entire day. You might get 12 or 15 videos that day. I'm dropping videos. It's gonna be JJ AllDay for real. Like, I'm gonna live up to my name. Like, April 3rd, as of right now, that's the plan. I got a few videos in the clip. I just haven't uploaded yet. Edited already, just ready to go. April 3rd, it's gonna be shoes from It's gonna be shoes that's coming out, of course, this year, of course, and some from last year and the previous year before I even did YouTube. So that's gonna be a hell of a day right there. I'm telling you, JJ AllDay is gonna be videos at random times all day.
That
You heard it here first, man. I'm telling you, April 3rd. Shout out to my bro Lance for coming up with that idea. We talked about that. It's going down that day.
that's gonna be crazy. It's like
all day. I'm telling you, you might get about 15 videos that entire day. I might take a week off after that. I might.
And thank you, Jeff, for that donation. I appreciate that a whole heck of a lot, man. Yeah, because and again, the work that goes into that stuff, it's like, obviously it's like different videos take different amounts of effort or whatever.
Yeah.
But, the fact of going through the process of doing it, because you and we're not the type where we can just walk into like our studio where everything is preset and we just sit in front of somewhere, like just sit on the X and just like record and just you set your stuff up, because I remember you did your one video where it's like that was outside and there's like all the mosquitoes or gnats or whatever.
Man, I got bit the hell up that day. I just tried to do something different. And as you can see, I haven't done a video at night again since then. I wouldn't no.
And that's the thing, like that's one of the things that I really like to do is like some outdoor videos, but it's like 9 times out of 10, the shoes that I get are delivered to me.
Mm-hmm.
And being out here, it's like I need to find somewhere, and it can be very windy around here. It's like the wind comes in, whatever.
The videos I did recently, I had to scratch due to that because I didn't really catch it, during the making of it. But when I played it back and started to edit, that's when all the wind, like I turn the audio up, the vocals up, but the wind is going up with it too. So I got about 3 I had to just scratch completely because of that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so far I haven't had to scratch any reviews. I don't, at least none that I can think of.
Yeah, I do it. I do them pretty often.
Because like there have been things that I've recorded, like when I was doing a performance review a while ago, I had recorded kind of like tracking the progress of something, but then ended up not using a lot of those previous clips, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna recap it all at once, because it was just like it just made more sense that way. Right. But usually though, I get pretty lucky in that I can just sit down because it's like a controlled environment inside. Mine is like noise. And I'll just knock out the video and just hope that I don't mess anything up. Which again, when you're doing like live like unboxings, it's like you can tell. You'd be able to tell because you'd be like, why is he starting the video with a shoe already out, like box on the side? Like something went wrong here.
I have a thing like, say if I do my videos in the park, like I'm just in a nice area by myself, it always that one little kid or two that comes up, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing over here? It just throws the whole video off. Like,
yeah,
a couple like that,
Because and I thought about that too. Because who was it? Bobby Sneaker World. I don't know what video it was, but that happened in one of his. Like he was sitting there. You remember he used to do videos like sitting on his steps or whatever before
the old spot, yeah.
Yeah, he was sitting there and he just, got the cameras talking about whatever. Then you hear, hey, what are those? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, and then you see him looking off camera and then just like some back and forth, and all of a sudden cut scene, and it's like, so I had to stop that for a second because some kids ran over here, but yeah, man, blah 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 blah. Yeah, so I've been pretty lucky without having to scrap any full videos. I don't even really like do much chopping. It's like usually one seamless set, which is good.
I think one of them I got, I have all my packages go to UPS. So I remember one particular day, I picked up a pair of shoes and I went to Chick-fil-A. The line was wrapped around the building, right? So I remember I had my tripod and stuff. So I actually recorded a video in the car. I'm in the drive showing Chick-fil-A. It was like, it turned into a sneaker pickup / vlog, all that to a sneaker video. But the overall end result, I didn't like it. I still got it. I might just release it for the hell of it, just because it's something different. But that's one I remember. I never uploaded.
See, and I would like to do more vlogs. Like, I was all set to do one. I went to the outlet like a month or two ago. I was like, you know what? I haven't been out here a while. Maybe I'll do a vlog or something. And then I get there and I remember, like, you know what? I'm gonna be sounding all muffled, So like, what's the point in doing this? The only other thing would be to like record it all and then just do like the voiceover later.
Yeah, that plays a good part too. That's dope. Yeah,
but I don't want to do that. I've done 2 videos where I had to actually do voiceovers, and it was just a little weird, because like I remember I'm sitting there, like one was the Jordan one, the Court Purples, because I did an only on foot video with like some different laces.
Mm-hmm.
So I recorded it, and then I was playing back the video, and I was just like recording my voice like as I'm watching it. It was just like, so here we got the Jordans, the Court Purples, and blah blah blah. It's like, it's just like weird, And then the other one was when I did my Flint 13 video, because there was like a skit kind of parody of me, like with my live cop thing in there. And so that I talked through how things went. And then I had to do the reenactment of it to match up with the video. And that
to sing it. Yeah.
It was like backwards. And I was like, man, like, I have nothing else to do I? Like, but people saw that video, and man, there were people that were like, that hated it because of me, and then there are other people that saw the humor in it, and they were like, okay, that's actually pretty funny. You're not gonna please everybody,
Yeah, I think Tweezy was saying, Homegrown was saying, he said he scrapped quite a few videos. Tweezy got rid of some from corrupt files. I remember we was at SneakerCon. He had lost a lot of footage from that. Yeah, like that was like, to lose a lot of good stuff like that's that hurt too. That's a whole nother hurt. Like, you do so much vlogging and recording and you just lose it, or it's just corrupt, man.
And that's the other thing. Like, cause actually think about it now, one video that I should have scrapped was the Jordan 1 collection video, because I think I know what went wrong now, because it was something that I covered in my like how to make YouTube videos about like frame rates and variable frame rates versus constant, with like your timeline settings and all that. But man, like the video and the sound got so out of sync later. Luckily, it was mostly by like the last 2 shoes or whatever. So I think I put something in there like, if you watch past this point, like watch to this point, like that's when the shoes stop. After that, everything's just trash. So
was it out of sync like the old karate movies?
Yeah, it was bad. Like I did some manual fixing of it. It was like, again, looking back at it now, it's like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I see why that might have gone that way, because it was one of those things that when I exported the whole video, that's see it. Because like the actual video itself, if I played it back on my phone, was fine, and if I exported just like the last 2 minutes of the video, that was fine. But it was like if I encoded the whole thing, then it would just get out of sync over time because, you know, it was like 2 separate videos because like things get broken up and stuff because it was recorded in 4K, file size limits. So then since neither thing was a true 30 frames per second, it just kind of ran into that issue.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it up there. And if people want to just, people are clicking through these things anyway. They're not watching this. You know? I see the viewer retention. I know how this works.
I mean, you just come a time when we start doing this, you have your people that just rock with you no matter what.
Right.
Like they just like you, they catch your errors, your flaws, and all that. But it's just they rock with you. They just mess with you as a person.
Yeah, so, and that's all I'm going for, right? Because like I was saying before, it's like because you're gonna have your subscriber count and you're gonna have your viewer count, right? They're not the same. If they were, every video I made would be getting like I'd be getting crazy payments for, but that's not the case, right? And I'm cool with that because I know some people subscribe for their own reasons. It's like, oh, well, I only want to see this, I only want to see that. But the thing is, there are the people that will watch as much of my stuff as they can or whatever, you know, because I know sometimes there's a lot of it and, you know, it's making time for it. It's not everybody can do that. But there are certain people whose names I see more often than others in the comments section.
That's true.
And so if I see, like, let's say I put up 2 videos a week for a month, and so that's like 8 videos or whatever. If I see that like somebody watched like 4, 5, 6 of them, it's like, all right, cool. Like I get it. Like they watched one here, they skipped the one on last Saturday, they watched this. I think they were there for the live. They're watching whatever they can or whatever interests them.
All right. Cool. I think during that period when you was dropping like crazy, I was watching a lot of your videos on TV. Like I put it on the television. I just hit the like button and I just let them all just play out. Like I have a whole playlist. Like my watch later list is crazy. I have so many videos I got to catch up on, and I'm off. I don't go back. I'm off for 2 weeks, so I got a lot of time to just like even like right now. I got videos going right now where I've been hitting the like button on people's videos right now as we've been doing this live. So that's how I interact like that. But
yeah,
there's times when you had those videos, you could talk about some of your favorite French fries, the Chick-fil-A fries, and you got people that's gonna watch it no matter what. I mean, and that's still one of my favorite stories that you ever told, right? That's
like, I was just thinking about that story. Like I think when I was talking to Homegrown yesterday or something. Man, it's like I just felt so defeated in that moment because there was nothing I could really do. You know, I was like, I could probably go back through this line and blah blah. I was like.
That's crazy. You can't make that up. That whole story was unreal.
It just, and that's the thing, because like again, putting yourself in your videos, like I'll sit there and I'll just kind of like talk about stuff, and sometimes people care to hear it, sometimes they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good either way. You know, I
mean, it's just come a time when you could just have a conversation with people. And it has nothing to do with shoes. They'll be like the craziest ones right there. Like we don't talk about no shoes. You just pull conversations from anywhere. It just flow. I mean, you just click.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like we were talking about before, because like when we were like even before this, when we were just talking about like the Undertaker and Sting and all this, it's like go on and on about so many things. You know what I'm saying? Because when I start talking to people, like you have similar interests, and then there's that, or you just start talking about like just random stories or whatever. Next thing you know, I might be on like some tangent about like, let me tell you about this trip I took to the dentist the other day, you know, and like the person that I'm talking to, like they might know me and like, this is probably going to be kind of funny. Like it doesn't, it seems a little weird on the surface, but I'm gonna see where this goes.
Like just wait for it. Trust me, it gets better. Yeah. Just wait for it. Wait for it.
Because that's like, because I noticed I don't necessarily set out to make like jokes in the videos all the time, but it's just you start talking about stuff and then somebody will comment on it and like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can I can see how they found that funny. You know,
Right.
now I make my little clips on Instagram. Like lately I started, like when I'll do my whatever I wore for the day, I'll throw a little clip after, just kind of talking about it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes there's a little bit of a story, or sometimes like a joke or whatever. Just because, again, the thing that I like most about doing this is like the interaction part. You know, I want to sit back, talk to the people. You know, see what they have to say back to whatever I said, and just hang out, you know, because it's not really like a one-way street, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like you make the stuff, people watch it, but then you want them to interact with you or the video in some kind of way.
That's one of the things I miss about like just like sneaker events, sneaker con. Like you really get to see some of your favorite YouTubers and just interact with them and just, it's just a good vibe, just seeing everybody. I miss that. Hopefully, things, get back to normal somewhat,
Right.
where, normal.
And that's the thing, because like through this, I've met so many people that I never would have met before, you know? Like you take Jeezy or whatever. Like, I mean, we had crossed paths years ago on Snups, where it's kind of like interest. I mean, it's kind of like Pinterest, but like different. And we went to like WrestleMania one year, you know, but we didn't know each other. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like I talk to him all the time, just kind of like lives, whatever. We talk about like what active figures are in our areas, you know. So I was hoping that this year I'd be able to actually like really meet some of these people. You know what I'm saying? Because we can sit there and we can have some jokes in some comments or whatever, but when you actually hang out with them, it's a little different.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
And then that's also when you see like certain people, because some people might be quieter, like in this setting, you know, like online or just not necessarily like reserved with it. They just don't talk a lot. But then when you get them in person, they might be a totally different beast.
Totally different person, right? Totally different.
So,
totally different.
Or you notice like for me, I've never really talked much to the 901, right?
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Like if we get in the same place, like we might just hit it off perfectly. So,
yeah, I want good people, man. Yeah, good people.
Yeah, like outside of like comments on videos and stuff, that's usually about as much as it's been.
Right.
But I mean, again, seems like a cool dude. We just never really talked a lot. So I'm really hoping that stuff gets cleared up so we can get out there and just kind of live like normal people again, for lack of a better way to say it.
Well, I need a vacation too. I'm ready. I'm ready to take some trips.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I mean, normally I would be on my way somewhere right now for the holidays or whatever, but not this year. Not this year. I'm just gonna be hanging out. So we'll see.
Alias said most underrated J and Nike of 2020.
I mean, I feel like a lot of them are overrated, so I don't even know how to answer that. Just because I mean that's just me. You know how I am.
Yeah.
But
underrated.
Underrated. Shoot. I think I bought like what about like 4 Jordans this year? 5 maybe? Because there was 2 12s, right? There was the Concord, the dark Concord, and
you had the Indigo.
Oh, the Indigo, yeah.
Indigo.
Those.
Indigo.
I got the court purple ones, but I won't say those are underrated. I think they deserve the exact amount of attention they got. The Grape 5s, those were better than a lot of people expected, but a lot of people don't want them because of the look of them. And I got what was that, like the alternate Bel Air 5s? So I guess I only got 6 Jordans, so I can't give like a real valid opinion on that because up close, you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't see something enough for yourself, you can't talk about it a lot. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta say the DMP. I gotta say the DMP sixes. Like everybody wanted that shoe, but once it came and it restocked 1,000 times, it kind of just came and just faded away. Like it was an afterthought. Like that shoe to me, it didn't get the love it deserves. And P Town just said a good one. He said those them chili red sevens.
Oh yeah, yeah. Man, I haven't bought a pair of sevens in God, it's been forever. Like, and sevens are one of my favorite Jordan models.
You know, I don't have any sevens models. I don't have sevens, eights. I don't have any tens.
Yeah, I don't have any tens either. I have
Any
two
10.
eights and three sevens.
I had the last shot 14s, but I sold them. So I don't have them right now. I don't have no 14s.
No, yeah, personally I stop at 12. Like I got nothing against the other. I've seen is it the 13? I remember, was it like the Altitude 13? They're like black mostly with a little bit of green on them.
Mm-hmm.
I like those.
Yo, optimistic. How you don't like sixes?
Hey,
Yo.
I was just about to say, like, I'm actually with him. Like, I mean, if you've seen was it my regret video? I think I told my sixth story in there. So they have some. They don't sit well with me.
Yeah, I don't think he like fours either. And those are like my two favorite Jordans of all time, sixes and fours.
I don't have anything against the four. It's like it's in neutral category for me. I have what, two fours? I have the reverse or alternate motorsports and the dunk from above.
That was that's the black ones, right? The motorsports.
Yeah, they're black mostly with a little bit of like a royal blue and some gray.
Yeah, I remember them.
And apparently like people just didn't care because I got them super cheap months after they came out. Because it was back in the old days when that stuff would happen. Back in like 2017.
The old days.
Like now it's like I don't see a lot of like top tier Jordans going on sale anymore. To where they're just like deep discounts just everywhere.
If y'all wild and y'all need 1 through 14 at least.
Nah, I'm good. I don't have twos or tens.
I got to check.
Because I have 1, 3.
You got a strong two collection.
Yeah, and again, I haven't. I think I considered a two once, but
I think I wouldn't mind having the mellow twos. That's the mellow twos.
It might have. I don't know.
Those classic.
Back, and I have seen tens that I like.
I need the steel 10.
Not often enough,
Yeah, steel 10s and powder blue 10s. I feel like them the only 10s I need.
Yeah, a lot of it is like, and that's the other thing, like, because I've only been really buying shoes in a way that like it looks like since like 2015, right? So it's only been 5 years, and so that first couple years or whatever, like you're not really seeing everything because you don't know how to pay attention to everything.
Mm-hmm.
You miss stuff, and there were probably things that came along when I was new to this that I would have wanted, but I didn't know. And even if I knew, I didn't necessarily know how to get them.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward to now, and it's like I see all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you usually have some kind of idea of where it's going to be, how I can go about getting it, and blah, blah, blah. So, but that doesn't help when there's like the Paris 10s, which were not released everywhere. It was like part of that city pack, and it was like a regional thing or something. But that was the only 10 that I've seen since I've really been buying shoes that I truly wanted.
Mm.
So no 3s or 10s. Oh,
he said no 10s.
Yeah, that's the thing. I got no problem. Like 3s, like I have the black cement 3s because they look kind of cool.
Yo, I need the white cements too. I need the white cement threes.
That was honestly like, because I don't, you know how it is. Like sometimes you can look at something and you don't see what it is. You just see like the visual. Like I'm cool with this because of I like this color layout, or I really like this about it. And for me, that's how it was with the black cement threes. I was like, I don't know any of the backstory about these, but this elephant print on here is pretty awesome. So,
Tough.
Sometimes it's like it'll be just a minor thing. That's all it takes to sell me on something. You know?
I think as far as like sevens, I need if I could get some sevens, it'd probably be I like the Olympic sevens and I like the hair sevens. I used to be big on the Bordeaux, but back when I was young, but I don't care for those like I used to. So that's probably be the only 2 sevens that I would consider getting the hairs and the Olympic sevens. Maybe the Cardinal sevens too. I like those too. Yeah, the Cardinals.
I remember wearing the Bordeaux sevens in 2015. That was my first seven. I remember wearing those to work once. We had to go in like you're gonna go in and just kind of like take care of something or whatever. Like it was like I don't remember what was going on, but me and some people were like, hey, let's just run over there and like just knock this thing out. And I didn't think anything of it. I just like wore those. Like, you know what? I'm gonna wear these Jordans I got now that I have a pair of these. And someone was like, man, you got those? I'm like, yeah. Like to me, it was like no different than just going to the store and buying a box of graham crackers. Like, yeah, I bought them from Finish Line. They were on sale Saturday. Like, yeah, like you got through. I'm like, was there more to this than I know? Because you know, I didn't know how about any of this, like waiting and bots and all this stuff. But also, it was again a different time, so some stuff was easier to come by. But I just jumped online. They said buy them at 10. I was like, oh, okay, well maybe 8 or whatever time, you know, time zone wise. But now it's like a whole ordeal to get something.
Hey, Jay Jeff, pull the trigger on a pair of those for me too, size 10. He talking about the LeBron 10 court. Yeah, size 10.
Man. But yeah, I think there are other sevens that I do like, but I can't think of what they are. The Barcelona days or nights? Whichever one's the gray one. I like those. Yeah, there's probably some other stuff because again, like, you know, I'm a little new to this, so. All right. Oh, JJ said okay. So this is basically a written contract. Like the whole world can see this right now.
Yeah.
So
P-Town, I'm gonna talk to you after Christmas. Let me survive Christmas first, and then we'll talk about that. Them sevens. Yeah, let me survive Christmas.
What? Oh, he says the hair sevens.
Yeah,
man.
Yes.
I know there's shoes that I'm sure everybody has like shoes in there like goat, not cart or like whatever you call it, like where you follow the prices. All kinds of stuff in there. Sometimes the stuff is like at prices where I want it to be. I'm like, yeah, but it's not the right time though. And that's the biggest thing. It's like I wish there was a better, more accurate forecast to know like what is coming up for the month.
So yeah, I'm ready for February. I'm ready for February and April. Carmine 6s, Raging Bull 5s. Like if I could get 2 pairs of both of those, I'm good. I'm happy. I want 2 each. I do. I really do.
Well, remind me when the time comes, because I don't go for most releases, honestly. I mean, if it's a 12, a 5, or definitely if it's a 12, I'm going for it more than likely. If it's a 5 or a 7, it's likely. Everything else is just everything else.
Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna keep you locked in for that then.
So yeah, just remember that.
I'm forever cash out ready. So yeah. Hey,
because that's the thing. Like this past weekend with where's those green 95s, the Volt 95s. I put in for those because Bobby Sneaker World wanted a pair. I don't know if it's for his son or not, but it was a child size, and I got through on them. And then I sent him the picture. I'm like, hey, like I got somehow Sneakers decided to sell me a pair. And he's like, oh, hey, I just left Jimmy Jazz picking up a pair of my own. So no, thank you. I really appreciate the help.
Right.
So I just figured, you know what? I'm just going to give these to my mom at some point because that's her favorite Air Max is the 95. So now that's one less gift I have to worry about eventually.
Yeah. So, that's true. I've had that colorway multiple times in life. Like don't get me wrong, I love that shoe, but I just didn't try as hard as I could have to get that shoe. Like I put my raffles in, but I could have put in more, but it just I didn't go crazy for it, like I would, some time ago. But nonetheless, it's a dope shoe though. It is a classic OG colorway. Like shout out to everybody that went for them, but it just wasn't. It's a lot coming out, man. It's a lot. I just didn't see that, But if I would have hit, I would have picked it up, of course.
And that's the thing. It's like there's so much, and what sucks is like some stuff will get randomly delayed. Some stuff will just pop up out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
The occasional restock that you might get the alert at the perfect time, and you're sitting there with your phone in your hands, and like you're on Twitter, and you see something like, "Hey, such and such is in stock on Foot Locker."
Oh man!
Like I could buy these right now.
Like what was the one on Snipes recently? Yeah, I tried to go for the biohacks. That's one I really wanted this year. I'm gonna probably have to do the StockX way. That's one shoe I really, really want, the biohacks. Those to me, that's like Jordan 1 of the year in my opinion.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people based on
special.
Because like I know there's like some people lean towards the mocha because they're more wearable, like as far as like the color goes.
Colors.
And so I mean I get everybody has their different criteria. So I don't know, man. It's it's a tough call because honestly, when I look back at it, and I'm probably gonna like you and like everybody in the chat, like when everybody starts putting their like top 10s of the year, or even if it's top 10 Jordans of the year, whatever, you're gonna see some shoes that you forgot even came out.
And everybody wasn't able to touch certain shoes.
The tie-dye ones, like that one. That was one that was the only outside of the court purples. That was the one that I went for because I went for them. They came out the same day as those orange duck camos. I clicked on like the ones, and they said no. And so okay, so I clicked on the duck camos, and they're like, all right, here's your order number. I'm like, wait, how does that work? Like, because all this time that I lost going for this usually means you're not getting anything else.
Facts.
But then the duck camos I sent to my brother for Christmas. So basically everything that I've got through sneakers on this year, I didn't keep because the mochas went to the sneakers, the 95s are going to my mom, and those camos are going to my brother. So it's like I wouldn't mind some luck when I need it,
Facts.
But hopefully these 12s work out. Is that tomorrow?
Like P-Town just said one. He said the tie-dye ones. I forgot about them. That's another dope. Those was dope too.
Right. That was
and Homegrown said he wanted the what the fives.
Oh yeah.
What's our Homegrown wear?
Homegrown is a 10.5, I think.
Okay. Because I let my brothers go.
And that's also weird. Like that sometimes like things come up like, I don't think he wears, I'm pretty sure he wears this. It's like, why do I know another man's shoe size? You know what I mean?
I was thinking me and him wore the same size or somewhere around that range. I thought he was like a 9.5.
Because it's like, it's just one of those things. But I mean, he'll chime in a second and say if we're right or wrong. Okay, 10. All right. Yeah, because I thought I don't know, maybe he asked me to look for something in a 10. Maybe I'm just thinking somebody else, but I thought he said 10.5 at some point. But even still, and same with like juggernaut. Like when he asked me, you know, I was like, yeah, I'll look for the phones for you. And I was like, you wear this, right? It's like, yeah, but in the phones, I prefer this size. Well, okay, cool. It's like, you see this stuff enough. Sometimes it just gets in your head. You know what I'm saying? It's just that like I rarely come across people that like wear my size, because whenever I see people that are doing like their downsizing their collection, it's always somebody like, yeah, I'm getting rid of a whole bunch of size 13s. It's like, what?
So yeah, me and you, we in the same size though.
Yeah.
So you start downsizing, you let me know. You let me know. Yeah.
Just so much stuff. It's like, man, like I can't even deal with this right now.
I just hate the way Jordan brand do their sizing though. It's crazy that I wear 3 different sizes when it comes to Jordans overall. Like I go from a 9.5, a 9 to an 8.5. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and I've had some things like that will fit. I'll have like a 9.5 and a 9 that both like I think in like ones. I think I have a 9.5 and a 9 that both fit like the same. I think one of them is a storm blue and the other one is something else. But it's like, man, this.
Now how does that work?
Yeah, kind of like what you were saying earlier when you did your I feel like it was you that did the Fire Red 5 review and you said they fit a little big. Was that you?
And they were a size 9, but they feel like a 9.5.
Yeah, okay. So it's stuff like that. But then I know you've had other 5s, but those other 5s didn't have that same fit.
They were like my black metallic 5. That's a size 9. They feel like a size 9. But after that Fire Red, something just told me to go down with all my other 5s, like my alternate grapes, 8.5. My apple greens, 8.5. I think I got another 5 back there. The same thing. I went to an 8.5, and it was just right, perfect.
Yeah, and homegrown you can go down to 9.5 and Jordan 1s. So it's like, but that's the thing, because like, and sometimes I'll say it in like reviews or whatever, where it's like, you have the size that is ideal for you, and then sometimes you can go up, sometimes you can go down. You know, like there's certain things where it's like, if my size isn't available, like if my size in a 350 isn't available, I'm going 10. If my size in an Air Max 1 isn't available, I'm going 9. You know, I'm dropping down because it's like I can do that. But man, it's crazy though, just trying to keep up with all that stuff.
One thing this new generation will never ever know about: going into a store, trying on a pair of Jordans, and be like, "Nah, let me get a smaller size. Let me get a bigger size."
I was just saying that to somebody in one of my because like I'll post stuff in my little community section once in a while, and we were talking about how, you know, you buy something so you can know if you'll like it or not. And even if stores would receive things and like, let's say even if they didn't get like a full size run of say like the next Yeezy or whatever, if they at least got like 2 or 3 so you can see like what it looks like, it's like, okay, well, here's a size 9 and here's a size 13, so you can at least look at it and be like, okay, it actually looks pretty decent. I see that it's not as blue as in the picture, so maybe I will go for that. Because for Yeezys, like I've done reviews on things and then looked at the video and like, this looks a little different in hand, and this is my video, you know, as I'm sitting there editing it. Or I'll see somebody else do the review and I'm like, man, like your pair looks dark. Like I see that it's like the lighting and stuff, and I can tell that from the video, but still.
Like 2 different shoes.
Exactly. But oh well, it is what it is. But I'm not gonna, you know, sit here and take up too much of your time. I know we've been on it. Just look at the timer up in the corner. Don't want to end up like Homegrown last night. I returned his call because he wanted to thank me for a gift card. We ended up being on the Instagram video chat for like 3 hours or something. like, and then like the part that we needed to talk about was like, it was like 5 minutes. You know, I was somewhere in the middle. It's like, oh yeah, I got that, man. Thanks. But yeah, no problem.
The conversation went all over the place.
It was everywhere else.
Oh.
You know, I'm sitting here like walking him through like YouTube analytics screens and stuff, and you know, we're talking about. I was giving him a little tour of my like Jordan's, talking about some stuff in there for some reason.
See, you gotta remember too. Look at all the people that we inspire. You know, you just on the phone giving him the game of how this thing works. So everything you tell him, he's just taking it all in. Pause. Like he's just taking notes, mental notes, and he's getting better every video that he makes.
And that's the thing, because like I don't want to keep all the information to myself. I want to share it as much as I can. It's just sometimes like that's the only setting where you can do it, you know, because I can make a video and that'll kind of give you an idea, but that's on the surface. You know, if I say, yeah, make sure you put some good tags in there, you might think like, okay, do some good tags, got it. But if I sit there and say like, look at this screen, see how this works, and now you compare it to like your next video, like that'll give you an idea of what you should do. So there was a lot of that stuff, but man, it's just like you get to talking, and kind of like we did like months ago, and even before this, you start talking, and then it's just like you talk about everything else, you know, and then you come back to that Chick-fil-A incident, and you.
The Bobby sneakers world, man.
Yeah.
It's about Bobby. They don't make them like Bobby no more, man.
No, man, that's a good dude though. Yeah. I know we were just talking about you, Bobby. How the kids interrupted your video one time when you were trying to talk about some shoes, and they wanted you to answer their questions.
Happy birthday, P-Town. I forgot to hit.
Yeah,
happy birthday.
Happy birthdays to you.
Yeah, he just turned 30.
Okay, nice. Welcome to the club. Yeah, that's the thing. Like you grow, and if you want your, because I know like I'm not trying to do amazing things with my channel, but if I'm gonna make something, I want it to be able to get to the people that might need it. So everybody else is largely the same. I've met some people who I can tell that they're just in it trying to.
It'll show. It'll show in their videos.
Yeah, they want different things out of theirs. If I wanted the same thing, I wouldn't be talking so much about Ultra Boost. I'll say that. So, because once you've done one, you've kind of done all of them. But yeah, man. I appreciate you giving me some. 35. What I say, coffee was 13 the other day. I forget, what was I even talking about? It's just one of those like subtle shout outs in a video, but you know, you make a joke about someone at the same time. But good for you, you know, P-Town, making it around the sun one more time.
Stop, P-Town. You're 30 years old. Stop. 30.
But man, like again, though, seriously, though, thanks for giving me some of your time. Because again, I just wanted to bring you in here, sit down, and get you in front of some people that may not really know who you are, and just let you talk a little bit about yourself, and then probably do this again. And some other.
It's all love. Salute to you. Much appreciated.
Oh, it's no problem at all. It's like, and hometowns like, dang, you've been what? This broken English he's speaking over here. Oh man, but no, it was good though. Appreciate that, and of course, like the link will have been in the description. It's right. It is down there. Pretty sure it's down. Yeah, Instagram and YouTube links are down there. Used to take care of all that stuff up front. But appreciate you again. I know you said you didn't have much else going on, but you still could have been doing any.
I could have been anywhere in the world, but I'm right here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the same way I feel with everything else. If somebody stops in for 5 minutes, hey, like I'll take that. If they stop in for 50, I'll definitely take that too. Thanks. So again, I'll pass it over to you so you can, like, you know, say your any kind of outro or whatever you might have.
Nah, that's it. Just, hey, all the information down in the description, man. Y'all check me out if y'all have it already, man. Once again, shout out to my bro, Shoes Up, Sleeves Down, all love. Appreciate the invite. Shout out to everybody in the chat that pulled up. Salute to all you as well. And yeah, more videos on the way, man. Y'all stay tuned.
And don't forget, April 3rd, JJ All Day Day.
April 3rd, I'm dropping videos all day. I'm living up to my name. JJ All Day. I'm dropping videos. You might get 15 videos out of me just on April 3rd. I repeat, that's my birthday. So it's going to be JJ All Day. literally JJ all day. So hey, it's gonna be a beautiful thing, man. Hey, logo, perfect. I'm telling you. Yeah.
All right, yeah. When I think back to my birthday this year, I did like 4 slide reviews or something. So maybe I'll have to step it up this year. I haven't even worn all those, have I? I don't know. But yeah. So, and again, to everybody that came through in the chat, appreciate that. Bobby Sneakerwell is applauding me for my thumbnail work. So what was the thumbnail for this? Oh yeah. Like sometimes I forget, you know, until somebody says something. Like, man, that thumbnail for this thing. I'm like, what? Like that. I will say before we go, I think one of my favorites was the thumbnail I made for when I was talking about movies with Kim Strong, because I used what's that movie with Sam Jackson in it? Black Snake Moan.
Okay.
The Black Snake Moan video. Like I just like put my head on his body and stuff. I'm like, yeah, like sitting there with the chain. I'm like, yeah, that's the one. This is definitely the thumbnail for this
movie. If y'all haven't seen it,
yeah, that's a good one. Speaking of which, I probably will be doing the Purple Rain video sooner or later. Go do a little review, recap, whatever you want to call it, of that. But in the meantime, go watch JJ All Day's videos if you haven't seen him. I know some of you guys are familiar with the guy. He wouldn't be here if I didn't think he was worth having on the show. That's not to say that if you haven't been here, you're not worth it. This is the first episode. So
yes, y'all pray my pen comes in soon. Yes, I was talking about this earlier. Like, if y'all were wondering, all my ads got taken off my videos because I'm having pen, you know what I'm saying, difficulties. I have to request another pen. I still haven't received it. So, yeah, hopefully my pen comes in so I can get paid because my money is just sitting there and I would love to get that. So, yeah, hopefully, yeah, before this year is over, it'd be nice. But, yeah.
Yeah, because that, I tell you, like, again, I also don't do this for the money, but when the 21st rolls around, if the month has been where it needs to be, it's nice to get a little bit thrown at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
I'll usually use that to kind of break even on like giveaways and stuff, but it's just nice to like receive something for your efforts. You know what I'm saying? But again, to everybody that passed through, I appreciate it. For now, have a nice rest of your day or rest your night, whatever it is, wherever you are, which going by who all is in here, I'm pretty sure it's night. But either way, I'll be seeing you guys around later. I don't know the next live that I'll be doing, but we'll see. Maybe it might be like a sneaker battle thing in like a couple of weeks, but I feel like I'm probably going to do something before that, even if it's just sitting around talking.
You are.
Yeah, because yeah, sometimes I'll do a review and then I'll just like, you know what, let's see who's online and just like throw that up there and see who shows up. But again, thanks everybody. We'll be seeing you around.